Yes, we are here. Mamela Kubute Dava. I know you guys been waiting for the announcement. Guess what? Your baby girl. Yeah, my book. Yeah, it is. It's out. Finally. I struggled to get this book out. So, the name of the book is Lullabies of a Broken Soul. It's a collection of poetry by myself. I wrote, So, what's happening is I wrote this book in 2019. And 2020, when lockdown came, I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just go back to that book, man, and see what I can do and see what I can add on. So the big part is like the book description. So I'm just going to read it out loud. Some days were meant to be bright, but mine were forever dark. Trapped in my consciousness, fighting to get out of the hellhole. What a troubled life I lived. The book is about the struggle of survival and consequences to my life experiences. It is divided in sections, and each page encloses a theme of trauma, abuse, and emotional exhaustion. So I just wrote most about my depression time. I wrote most about relatable stuff in this book. I'm just gonna go through it with you guys, like a reading session, something like that, so you guys can have an idea of what the book is about. So that's the first page. The table of content and acknowledgement and about the author. So I'm just gonna read out the about the author so that you guys can just have an idea about me, Smaka Mloyi currently resides in Alexandra, Johannesburg, South Africa. Oh, well, I don't stay in Alex anymore, but I wrote this book when I was still in Alex. However, her hometown is a village called Butlokwa. Yes. Smaka is a poet, a motivational speaker, and a model. Did photo shoots the I'll get back to that. So here's a picture of myself, as you guys can see, and an open poem. I'm just gonna read it out loud for you guys. It's I am a woman of wounds. So it goes as, I am a woman of wounds. I call myself a lady, though I'm addressed as a hoe. I gave it all to men in exchange of love, and I found bitterness instead. And I drown in the sorrow today. I carry a body full of fingerprints, both men and women, and each one has a different story of trauma. Whether it was love, I don't know. It all felt the same. I have had many in bed, but I still don't know how love feels like. With all the heaviness on my shoulders, I found myself barricaded in the image of that little girl I used to be, quivering in the darkness with so much rage in me, bombarded with all the trauma I wish I could forget from my father, my uncle, and my partner, which has become lullabies of every night, and its story has a scar on my wrist. So, the motivation, like me wanting to write such a poem, is there is someone out there that they might, a lot of people are being sexually molested at home, things like that, and they never get to talk about whatever it is. They literally never get to talk about something like that. So I was just being creative and writing my mind, because literally all the time when I'm just sitting, I'm thinking of something. My mind is literally working, like put those words on paper, like create something with, it's always like that. So that's why I wrote I am a woman of wounds. So as we go, it's divided in 5 sections, I think. The first chapter is Put Herself to Bed. So in Put Herself to Bed, I was literally just talking about my depression. Like I've been depressed. I've been in the darkest place ever, to a point where I used to literally cut myself. I don't know if you guys can see it, because it got to a point where I couldn't even sleep at night. Like it was a constant thing that I know if I'm sleeping, I have to wake up at a certain time and I must cut myself. Because what? I didn't want to kill myself, So yeah, it was something like that. So I'm just going to read 1 or 2 poems and Put Herself to Bed, so you guys can have an idea of what I was talking about. So here's the first poem in Put Herself to Bed. Before I go to bed, every night I'd find myself on the floor of my mother's bathroom. I tend to play around with sharp things. Sometimes I use a razor and let the day bleed red and bitter as my mother's favorite wine. Every time when the night bleeds, I remind myself I cannot be safe and let my demons die. I started being depressed around 2019 when I came back from USA. Like I literally hit depression, you know, and no one understands at home. I can't tell my mom like, yo, I'm depressed. You understand? Because they thinking depression comes in a form of there is literally everything at home, but why are you, you know? And it's not necessarily that. It could be trauma from what had happened that I couldn't even talk to you about, or something like that, or, you know. So I was just writing about the dark days, the days I had. Oh my god, I hate staying in my head. I remember when my depression was actually hitting hard. It was hitting hard to a point where I was like, I don't even want to have friends anymore. Cause what am I gonna do when I'm around you? Cause I'm like, you know, I'm not even trying to have friends, meet new people. Like I was just a loner and ish. So he has a second poem and puts himself to bed. The friends I played with at night were so possessive. They took control of my life. I could not have any other friends. They dictated every life choice and I could not disobey. And if I did, they'd let me discipline myself, punish myself, bruise myself, cut myself. They were only ever satisfied when the blood covered my sleeves. So they helped me bury my voice and I suffered alone. Literally, it was like that. Like, I couldn't talk to anyone about what I was going through. Like, I was in a dark place. Oh my god, I don't wish anyone to be through that. I don't even wish to go back. Like, it was bad. I remember my sister kept on telling me, you need to go get help. And I was like, no, nah, like no one's ever gonna save me. Because that's what they told me. Like, imagine every day when you open your eyes and you have these voices in your head that literally tell you that you are so useless, you just need to end your life because there's nothing that you're literally living for. And how do I share? Everything is going down. It's like, yo, Ndana, no, just end it. You know, and I've realized most of the people that are actually depressed, like, coming out is hard. Coming out of the hellhole, it's hard. Like, there's literally no way. It's either you kill yourself or you try and survive a depression because it never heals. Like, I personally salute the people that actually come out of depression alive, because baby girl, coming out there is so hard, because bear in mind, it doesn't heal. That's what it sleeps, and when it wakes up, it catches up with you, because boo, you were able to fight me, so I'm coming back harder, you know? So shout out to y'all guys. Like, I salute y'all guys. So I remember this one time I was chilling on my bed and it was dark. It was dark. I literally wrote God a letter. So the name of that poem is Open Letter. Name. So it goes as, Dear God, I carry a heart full of water. Both my eyes and body organs don't function. We're drowning. We still praise your name day and night while we down here hurting, fighting for survival. Oh God, from my broken heart and my scarred body, I'm pleading. Each day gets harder and harder. I am caged in the shell I call a body. My soul needs saving. My soul needs peace. Oh God, my soul needs freedom. Because I carry a body with no soul in it. They say you're greater than our problems, but then I wish you're greater than my mind right now, because I'm trying not to kill myself. God, I'm trying. God, I'm tired. I thought maybe if I wrote you a letter, then you'll remember me too soon and Simone me home yet. I don't want to seem ungrateful, dear God, but each day isn't a blessing. Each day isn't a blessing, dear God. I'm tired. You know, like, fuck. This poem, it was me writing that last thing. I was prepared. I was prepared, and I was like, God, since I'm scared to do it, please fetch me. Because I couldn't be the one to do it. Please fetch me. That's how my depression hit me. Like, depression knocked me down. Hence I'm saying, if you come out of depression, baby, I give you a hand. So in the redemption part, there was a point where I was finding myself, finding meaning and things like that, and just one night I went back to depression. I was just talking about those days, literally how it was when it came back. Now it came back differently. It it was the worst thing that could ever happen to me or anyone. I really don't wish someone is going through that or has to go through that. So another section in the book is slavery. So the slavery part, it was just me being creative, me using my mind, me speaking someone's situation, you know, because someone's gonna read it and be like, I'm not alone, you know. So slavery, it was just me talking about people that are in situations where they find themselves being molested, you know, sexually molested, or scared or hopeless. Like, it's literally just that. Slavery, I was just talking about abuse, you know. I was literally talking about abuse. So I'm just gonna go through a few poems for you guys. Yeah, so I'm just gonna read one poem in the slavery. It goes as, it's actually my favorite. It goes as, I forgot my body was a temple of God, that I left it open for every man to find pleasure in it. So I just approached it in a manner of, you know, when you're just hopeless about the world and you just, man, you guys can do whatever you want to do on me, you know, things like that. So slavery is just talking about hopeless people that are going through something. So now we're just gonna go to Khotlelela, which is perseverance in English. This chapter, I was just talking about when someone actually finds themselves in a hopeless relationship that they don't know how to leave because of certain circumstances. So I'm just gonna read one of my favorite poem in it, and yeah, here it goes. I opened my thighs for him every time he needed me to, and let him eat me up like it was his reason for leaving. Even though it made me hate myself after we were done, I still gave him the time to leave me broken and dry, because at least he was happy. So I was just speaking for a woman that's trying so hard to, for women that actually find themselves in a situation where they like have to please a man that they can't leave due to certain circumstances. So this is for you. You need to read this one. So I'm just gonna go to another chapter, which is Weary. In Weary, I was just talking about how exhausted I was. Like, hence you can see the first poem is, and now that I've seen it all. So it's just me talking about, oh man, I'm tired of these things. I'm tired of you know, whatever it is that's going on. So here's a poem. It says, this time I'm doing it for myself. I'm picking up all the pieces of a love puzzle I once lost when I was a kid. So growing up, I was being bullied at school. You know, I had like friends that didn't like me because of a certain friend, but not gonna talk about that now. So I just feel like there's certain parts of myself that I lost when I was a kid, that growing up and me being just depressed, it came up, and like, you know, those thoughts like, yeah, that's why this and this happened to you, because man, you're useless. Why don't you, you know how it hits. But yeah, you guys will just read the Weary part, and then there's a picture of my eyes, and there's poems after. So this section is from me to you. Like, I'm reaching out to you, you know. I was just talking that I know it's been hard living. I know you're tired and torn apart. So am I. Like, it's been a long time fighting, and sometimes it seemed hopeless. Before you consider taking your life, look at all the good things you've achieved. Look at what you have become. You've made it this far to end it. I know it's tiring, but you gotta keep going. Turn your pain into survival and live like a fighter. Like, this is from me to you, all the depressed kids out there. Like, I survived. Someone survived. You can survive as well. So from me to you, that's the chapter all about. You guys can just go through it. So yeah, that's a wrap actually. And at the end of the book, it shows that I'm working on a second book, which is named Brashiada. Brashiada is a flower. It's coming out soon. It's also a collection of poems. So I'm gonna leave a number that you guys are gonna DM on and inquire about the book. If you want to place an order, you just text the number on WhatsApp, or you simply go on my Instagram and DM me. But I'll prefer that you go on WhatsApp, because DMs. But you can just do whatever you're comfortable with. And then you just send me your name, and you just tell me if you want the book. And then we place an order, and then we have it delivered straight to you. Yeah? Thank you, guys.